So even though you end up not having a record deal, you started to garner a lot of attention through the internet, right?
Yeah.
You started out your career, like you said, dissing a lot of people, specifically the reggaeton genre.
Yeah.
What sparked that?
Just easy. Just the fact that, again, I wasn't attracted to the going at people. But when it came to my rap music, I knew right away that I was being rejected. When the reggaeton artists will come to my hood and they will open up their shows, you know, everybody knew I was nice. Everybody knew, like, yo, give this dude 5 minutes and, to open up your show. And the attitude that I saw with a lot of them, like, they were getting paid like $500 back then to come from Puerto Rico and perform over here, but they were acting like divas. And they didn't want me to open up a show for them. They didn't want me in the back room with them. They didn't want to take a picture. They had this mentality from the beginning, which actually helped them get to where they were at, right? Because it's like, if you want to be a superstar, you got to stay away from the fans as you can. That's why they have a fans, when you go to the concerts, they have something separating the artists from the fans. You have to seem untouchable, and some of that you can understand. As soon as you meet the artist, you feel like he's one of you. He's just like you. So, they understood that the more people idolize you, the more famous they'll get. So I didn't like that, because music to me wasn't a career. I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want to make a whole ton of money. Like, music was like what got me out of the streets, what saved my life. So I was doing it for the love. And when I saw that there was that rejection and they didn't want to support certain artists, at the time there was a lot of Dominican rappers where I live, and I would hear like racist things towards them from the Puerto Rican rappers, like, oh, those Dominicans, they're garbage and they're no good, we can't play them in the radio. So something in me like stirred up, and I said, man, you know what? I'm just going to go after all of them. And at the time, 50 and all these people were dissing each other. And even in Puerto Rico, there was rappers dissing each other. So I knew it was an element that belongs in hip hop. Like, diss tracks is something that is normal in the rap music. So I took a hold of it and I said, I'm just going to go at everybody. And I went at everybody, man. But I think the unique thing with me is that in a time where, if to be known as a Spanish rapper, you had to move to Puerto Rico, come out, you had to be co-signed there, come out in a compilation there, right? And over here in the States, you had to go hard with the mixtapes. You had to go to the streets. You had to sell your CDs outside of the, either give them out for free or like sell them in the streets. And what happened to me was that something clicked. When I first saw the first like social media page, it was called mijente.com before MySpace and stuff like that. And something clicked in me, and I said to myself, how can I promote my music here? And I remember I talked to this dude who was paralyzed from the neck down because he got shot in the neck, road rage situation. But he was from Harvard University. And I remember he was one of my fans, and I'm talking to him, and something told me, hey, man, is there any way? Crazy. I'm looking at the page, and there's a picture of me, like a banner. And I said, bro, is there any way, like, you could do some type of code and put like my song inside of a banner? Bro, I never in my life did I know that was a thing. And this dude said, oh yeah, that's easy. I said, what? Yeah, just give me the CD. I'll turn it into an MP3. I didn't even know what an MP3 was. And then I'll put it into the thing, bro. There's nobody else you could tell me that was on mijente.com that when you went to their page, the diss track was playing. I was dissing Tego at the time. And people came to my page and they heard the track. And within a week, through the internet, I was getting phone calls from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, like people I knew that were telling me, yo, bro, your song is everywhere in the streets. People are talking about it. Na. And then after that, it was like fire. All the DJs from New York, DJ Moet, a whole bunch of DJs just started putting my diss tracks and mixtapes where it was all reggaeton, Daddy Yankee and all of them, the Omar, whatever. but they started adding my diss tracks like at the end of the CDs, and that's how I got known through the internet. So there's nobody I know in any. I don't care if you do pop music, anything. I, I feel like I was the first person that blew up on the internet through music because I was using it specifically to promote my music, and that's how I got known. Like in Latin America, Spain, there was people from Australia listening to me, writing me messages, and at the time, that didn't exist. I remember going to meetings with record labels in New York, and I remember UBO was one of them, and I'm sitting there and they're laughing at me when I'm telling them I'm an internet rapper. Like, yo, I'm doing really good on the internet. And they're like, ha ha ha, like that's not how we do things. We have distribution, we do this, and we do movies, and we do. They didn't believe in that then. They knew it was something, but they didn't know it could have been used effectively. So it's crazy that I used the internet for that because it came out of nowhere.
You went viral before
I went
viral was a
viral
thing.
before, bro. I went viral. Listen to me. When you look at who was the first viral, whatever, people go to YouTube, all the Superman song or something. But bro, I went viral way like 3 years, 4 years before that through migente.com and then MySpace. Because on MySpace, I think I used to do my math. I used to like do my research on MySpace. I was the first rapper, English or Spanish, that was independent, that had like 3 million plays on my song in my player. Like, bro, like everybody was listening to me, and I had no record deal. I had no like management. I had no booking, like publisher, nothing, So it was crazy. It was crazy what the internet was doing with me.
What year was this?
Bro, this was 2001.
Oh, yeah, you definitely, wow, that's like way before, I think
Bro,
that was even before like the iPod and everything, wasn't it?
Way
That's
before,
crazy.
bro. Way before. Put it to you this way, bro. It was
well, because MySpace was like what, 2002, 2003, like around there, right?
Yeah, it was like 2002. Yeah, and that's, remember my first. Put it to you this way. This is how I could prove it. Tego Calderon had the Esto Wasa Wasa, Wasa Wasa, right? And that song blew up on the internet. Blew up on the internet. The diss track that I did for him, and that was around that time. You know what I'm saying? But I was already before that. People were listening to me because of the internet. So it's like people in other countries in 2001 were already listening to me. I dropped the album around that time with rappers from Chile and Colombia. And the way I knew about them was because they were listening to me and they were putting my songs, into mixtapes, bootleggers, you could say, in South America. But yeah, bro, I was viral before viral came. The word came along.
That's crazy.